is it going, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Twigger, and I have another High ELO commentary for you featuring MapleStreet8, or just basically MapleStreet, who is the AD carry for Team 8, currently in the North American LCS, and the brother of the odd one, who we all know and love from the good old-fashioned Team Solo mid. But he is playing Sivir, who he's played quite a bit in the 2015 North American LCS spring season, and he's currently 3-2 with Sivir, so it'll definitely be interesting to see how he plays Sivir and whether or not he does well. Sivir definitely being one of those champions who it's a fairly safe pick, has definitely some very good damage early on in the game, has great mid game and end game scaling with her ultimate. And with somebody like a Janna with some great disengage potential, you got the engage and the disengage in the bot lane, but you're going against a much more aggressive lane with a Morgana and a Tristana, and you definitely have to be worried about the late game potential of the Tristana. But my favorite part about this game, not only is MapleStreet in this, that I get to commentate a really great High ELO game with a known figure, but also there's a Lux in it. Come on, you guys know how much I love the Lux. So I'm very excited to be seeing a High ELO Challenger Lux player playing my favorite champion, but I'm not going to talk about that right now because it looks like the jungle Nidalee is making her way down into the bot lane, and a binding is going to land onto the Janna. A great flash to dodge a Nidalee spear and a great tornado to knock her up, but it looks like it is not going to be enough. The leap is going to be just enough to get in there and get range for her E, which is going to be one dead Janna. Sadly, MapleStreet's Q ends up missing everybody. But it's just one of those things that you can't really get away from a Nidalee. She is so mobile, and as much disengage as Janna has and as much of her her happy feet that she could muster, it just was not enough to get her out of that situation. Getting hit by that Morgana binding definitely being a little bit detrimental because it allowed Nidalee to cover so much ground. But a lot of damage going on to this Tristana right now. Skarner coming in for a gank. I can't believe I'm saying Skarner coming in for a gank because that is definitely a surprise. But MapleStreet landing a little bit of damage with her Q. Well, I'm going to say her Q because it's Sivir, but it is definitely a he. So don't mind me if I randomly go him, her, his, it, what, that, you know. But a lot of damage going down onto the Maokai in the top lane. Trundle definitely trying to abuse that a little bit. I'm excited to be seeing Trundle back in the top lane. I found like the meta just got very stale for top laners, that it was just a select couple picks. But I do remember just a little while ago, back in like the 2014 LCS, that Trundle was one of the best picks up in the top lane. He gets so much sustain from killing minions, 2% of the health, I believe. But Trundle now in a bit of a precarious situation, not going to get the slow immediately from the Maokai sapling, so that's probably going to save his life. So Nidalee just basically wasting a little bit of time here. The movement speed definitely helped him out. But Nidalee definitely going on the chase here, chasing on the Trundle a little bit. If she lands a spear, nope, does not land the spear. This chase is definitely done. Oh, good idea. Just taunt him a little bit. Let him know that he's lucky. Oh, Lux landing a little bit of damage on California's Snow's LeBlanc. I want to see it's always great. If you have your favorite champion, it's always awesome to watch these High ELO games when they come up on your little feed in the bottom right-hand corner, because you learn so much. But Lux getting a good binding down onto the Skarner, so no more damage is going to be coming in from him. Trying to do some damage to the LeBlanc, but missing her E. And that's going to be the end of that fight, but a lot of damage going on to the Tristana. I feel like I'm saying lots of damage a lot. I feel like Freak right now. But MapleStreet taking... what is another, too much damage for the lane. Losing the trade, I think is what I'm going to try to say. Not tons of damage. Oh, the Skarner coming in for a fantastic gank. Going to be binded up, though, and taking quite a bit of damage. The bomb going off. The Tristana jump going to slow him down, and that's going to be enough for an enemy Otter. I wonder if this is the same Otter. It might very well be Otter that was in the, was he in the LCS previously? Oh god, you guys are going to have to help me on this one. But Otter, a very famous AD carry. I don't know if this is the same Otter, but would be very exciting if it was. MapleStreet definitely has his work cut out for him if it is. But a lot of stuff going on in the top lane. Damage being traded between both of them. The ultimate being used by Trundle, and it's still ticking down for the Maokai. Looks like the Trundle is going to win out in this trade, though. And Maokai going down to what looks like a barcode name. Enough damage had been traded out, and Trundle wins that one. So 1-0-0 for the Trundle, going for a very strong damage build, but here we go once again, a little bit of a trade in the mid lane. Lux, sorry, having to flash for the LeBlanc. The LeBlanc flashing to get away from that Nidalee. But, sorry, the Lux using her ultimate, popping the passive of the LeBlanc. Nidalee just jumping in there to do some damage. And that's definitely a worthwhile trade because Lux is currently sitting with not only her flash, but also her barrier available. And now it looks like the Skarner getting into a very bad scenario. LeBlanc is so low, I don't see what you could possibly do here. Sadly, Lux does not have any mana, so not really going to be able to follow up on that one. And she did just use her ultimate, so not much going to come out from that. Looks like the LeBlanc is trying to stay for a little bit longer, try to get as much CS as possible. But right now, the Lux 61 CS to the LeBlanc's 46 CS. And as you guys can notice, I managed to put everybody in the proper order in that little display screen in the bottom. So there we go. Very easy to tell what's going on this game, hopefully. So right now in the bot lane, it's very good for MapleStreet, 71 to 54. Sadly, Tristana does have that extra kill and the assist, so I believe that the gold is still currently in her favor, 2,800 to 2,600. So yeah, the gold's still in Otter's favor, but it's the best way to keep in the game is to focus on your CS, and I can't stress that enough. It's so important to have good CS in this game, and you can tell that MapleStreet is not very far behind, even though Tristana has a kill and an assist, which normally looks better on paper when you're looking up at the top kill score. But MapleStreet is definitely in this game and is not really afraid to trade with this Tristana, as we've seen with the past couple little engagements. MapleStreet getting in there, blocking the Dark Binding for the Janna, but also gaining mana with that Spell Shield. Very nice play from MapleStreet. So Team 8 as a whole, now that we have a second, we're just going to watch a couple wet noodles beat on each other for a little bit. Super well, actually, the Trundle is building full damage, so maybe it's not. It's one wet noodle versus an al dente noodle, for those of you who cook at home. Otter trying to do a bit of damage to MapleStreet. The Dark Binding is going to miss, but that bomb is still going to... Oh, there you go. The block coming from MapleStreet. A great binding landed by the Lux on that second distortion. Sorry, it's not distortion. It is... Oh, what the hell is her spell called? No, I gotta check it out after this fight. Trundle taking a ton of damage, but running into his Skarner for help. The ultimate coming out of Skarner onto the Nidalee. Nidalee's not quite dead, using the heal to keep herself alive. The Skarner taking a ton of damage from the Maokai. Maokai has absolutely no mana left, though. But the spear landing, and Lux coming in for the nice, easy passive auto attack damage. Trundle going down, Skarner going down. A little bit of a misplay from that Skarner. I feel like that spear was pretty predictable, but chose not to really try to avoid it that much, and both of them end up going down, not killing the Nidalee because of that heal. But what is it? What the hell is her damn... It is distortion. For some reason I thought that... never mind. I'm just losing my mind here, folks. Just bear with me, okay? It's late, okay? It's a late commentary. I've been up too long and I haven't had caffeine or alcohol, so things happen. But 4-1 is the current kill score in favor of the red team, 15.7k to 14k. It's not great to see that kind of score when you're only about 10.5 minutes into the game. And I'm going to be curious to see how this Trundle ends up building, because full damage top lane is kind of going for like a carry Trundle is an interesting tactic. It looks like the Skarner is building for more of a tanky aspect, and already going for the new item that came out this patch. Is it Bami's Cinder? It's either Bami's or Bammies. I think you could say that probably anyway. But I'm going to be going for that Cinder upgrade. But great ultimate being used by the Janna to disengage from that Morgana ultimate. The Nidalee was coming in there, so probably saved their lives. Trundle taking a little bit of damage from the Maokai, and Tristana now re-engaging. The exhaust being used by the Janna. A lot of damage going down onto her. I think they might have to turn away on this one. Tristana going to get the kill and get the reset on her rocket jump. Probably going to be able to get away from this one. The exhaust is currently on MapleStreet, trying to do as much damage as possible. Skarner using the ultimate on the Nidalee. Are they going to pick her up this time? They do. MapleStreet picking up his first kill of the game, and it looks like that's all that's going to happen here. Skarner actually got hit by a Dark Binding there, and Lux is now coming down. Lux does have her ultimate. Going to be curious to see if she lands anything on the MapleStreet. The slow is going to be applied if she keeps going into that one, so she's going to try to just get a kill, but that is going to be a kill for the Lux. MapleStreet going down to that one. Very nice play by the Lux to just put the E right behind MapleStreet, so really just blocked her entire escape route. So had to try to force a fight against the Tristana and the Morgana, and ends up being a quick and simple death, and the kill going to Lux. Looks like the LeBlanc just waiting here, trying to see if she can pick anybody off, but sadly a little bit too late. The Lux had already beat, and it looks like the LeBlanc did not see this pink ward that's available there, which is just a tad bit unfortunate. Sadly, not picking off that pink ward, which would have been very easy. It looks like the Janna also going to miss that one. So, great pink ward placement. I figured that would have been a fairly easy bush to check. And there. Yeah, there we go. Way to go, Janna. Free pink ward. I think we, there you go. Round of applause. Tends to be what happens in the LCS. So, Janna picking up that pink ward, disturbing some of the vision. LeBlanc taking a little bit of damage from the Lux. Lux winning out on that trade, and a great Nidalee spear. The Lux ultimate is still available. Doesn't seem to land, though. I did have to go and check that one out, but there is a fight in the top lane. Maokai taking a shit ton of damage from the Trundle. Trundle should just dive this one because Maokai is currently so low, but Trundle has built nothing but damage, and he is going to go down. That's the one issue about building so much damage and no tankiness. But MapleStreet looking like he's going down to the Morgana. Tristana was involved in that fight. I feel like since MapleStreet is the highlight of this, we should go and watch what happened. So Tristana became very, very low during the fight. Looks like I'm not going to have... Let's just back this up a little bit further. I do want to know what happened in this fight because MapleStreet is the person that we're focusing on, and I want to see the plays in the bottom lane. So MapleStreet just kind of setting up the wave, trying to push it into the turret. LeBlanc getting a little bit of a flank here, but is going to decide not to go for a flank. And they're getting a lot of damage on this turret. They might very well just overcommit for the turret, but there's a little bit of damage coming out of the Tristana. A lot of damage being traded from MapleStreet. And the flash, oh, both flashes, and MapleStreet takes a turret shot, and that is going to seal the deal. That's, yeah, you can't really do much against that. Tristana got away with a great flash and the black shield. And sadly, MapleStreet tried to flash to get the kill, took a turret shot, and that is going to be one dead MapleStreet. But we do have Skarner coming up for a gank. He does have his flash available and his ultimate. So trying to go for the... Oh, but there's the ultimate onto the Tristana. This is going to be one dead Yordle. There we go. So at least a little bit of a return kill. But here comes Lux. That is going to be a dead Janna with one nice QE combo from the Lux. Doing great at roaming this game. Currently sitting at 3-0-0. And Lux going for the Magi's Soul Stealer. LeBlanc doing some nice little jukes there on the Nidalee, making sure she doesn't take too much damage from this gank. It's not even really a gank. Nidalee is just holding the mid lane for the Lux, while Lux roams and decimates the entire map. So I'm kind of curious as to how the blue team plans on coming back from this. Currently, there's only been one turret taken, and that is in favor of the red team in the mid lane. But 23.8k to 19.6k, it's a big gold difference. 14.5 minutes into the game. And looking down at the CS, we'll just kind of go through those really quick. 87 to the 95 of Rumble. Rumble winning out on that one. But he did go for the Tiamat, so of course he's going to farm quite a bit better than the Maokai. 54 to the 60, fairly even in the jungle. 125 to 109 for the Lux. So Lux winning out on that one with also 3 kills to the LeBlanc's 0. 119 in favor of MapleStreet Sivir to the 100 of Tristana. But Tristana sitting 2, 1, and 4. 4 assists already. Pretty impressive, but probably wish that those were kills. And yeah, looking at the support roles, 0, 3, and 1 for the Janna and 1, 0, 5 for the Morgana. Morgana currently sitting with a perfect support score. But it looks like we're going to have a little bit of a fight. It's a 3v2, though. Trundle getting absolutely decimated by the collapse of the red team, and Skarner's just going to have to run away from that one. Very easy kill pickup for the Lux. It's the L names in the mid lane, Lux and LeBlanc. Couldn't you have gone like Lux and Talon? So the Lux using her ultimate to try to kill the Janna. Not going to be enough, but the Tristana for the follow-up. LeBlanc absolutely annihilating the Nidalee. But it is going to be enough to take down the Janna. Tristana's bomb and a couple more auto attacks getting through on that one. The teleport coming down for the Maokai. Going to try to lock some people down, but the return teleport coming in for the Trundle. He does have a lot of damage, so they're probably going to be able to take down this Maokai fairly quickly. But the red team is responding, trying to do some damage to lock people down. The Q missed for the Lux. Tristana just sitting in the back trying to pod shot as many times as she can, taking MapleStreet down very low, but a double kill for the Sivir. MapleStreet having a great boomerang, getting both procs on the Tristana, who was already pretty low on life, and that is going to be 2 kills for MapleStreet Sivir, which is not what you want to see, but Tristana also doing her fair share in that fight, and it is just better off for MapleStreet in that one. I'm not entirely sure what the total kill score for the two fights were, but sorry, for the main fight was. But it looks like MapleStreet trying to come in here. A lot of damage coming down from that Lux ultimate. And if Morgana can land a binding here, this is going to be a dead Sivir. Her spell shield won't be up in time, but it looks like Nidalee trying to land a spear, but she's not going to need the spear. There we go, a great binding landing. But here comes Skarner to try to clean up this fight. Janna is here as well, fighting the Nidalee, doing some damage, and it looks like Janna is going to be the one to pick up that kill. Probably wanted that to go to the Skarner, but not going to complain when two other people got the assists and Janna got the kill. Not going to complain about that. A kill is a kill, and more assists are more assists. So Morgana currently sitting at 1-0-6, which is a pretty fantastic support score if you ask me. But it looks like once again we're having a fight in this top lane. Trundle did finally build a little bit of magic resistance, and the damage coming out of that Tiamat's is pretty substantial. Tiamat's, Doran's, and the longsword. But once again, he has to back off a little bit low on mana. Probably can't trade as much. I'm really curious to see what a more damage-oriented Trundle build is going to do for him against somebody like Maokai. He's going for a fairly standard Maokai build other than the two Doran's rings. But looks like this might very well be a kill. The flash and then an auto attack is going to be enough to kill the Maokai. I'm very curious to see the two Doran's rings for the Maokai. I don't know if he was just trying to keep in the game because he died a little bit early to the Trundle. But you get the standard Maokai build with the Rod of Ages, and now going with the Glacial Shroud, probably going to turn that into a Frozen Heart, which would be very good against this team because you have the Trundle auto-attacking, the Skarner auto-attacking, and the Sivir relying so much on auto-attacks. Maokai is just going to be that big tanky person, but it's going to be curious how they come back from this because right now Lux is 4-0-2. Binding landing onto the Janna. This is going to be enough to kill her if there's the ultimate, and yep, there's the burst damage coming out of Lux. A great ethereal chain being landed onto the Morgana, but another great binding landing onto the LeBlanc. And it looks like a great Q being landed onto MapleStreet. A great flash from MapleStreet, though, to dodge the Q from the Nidalee. Not going to be enough, though. The leap and the E is going to be plenty to take down MapleStreet. Skarner trying to get in there to do some damage. Is he good? He's going to use the ultimate, hoping that LeBlanc can follow up. Is going to be able to follow up and gets her on the other side of the wall, but Tristana is available. Going to use that ultimate and the flash to kill down California Snow. It looks like Lux landing a great Q onto the Skarner. Going to hold him into place for the Maokai and the Tristana follow-up. A great flash over top of the wall might be enough to save his life, and it will be enough to save his life. Great timing on those flashes. It looks like the Tristana did not have a rocket jump available, and while all that was going on, the TP was not used because it was down, so he just roamed down there, the Maokai. But Trundle using this time to push on this turret, and since he did build quite a bit of damage, he's going to be able to take down that turret with a fair amount of ease, and it looks like they've managed to bring this back a little bit. 32.8k to 30.5k, 15 to 9 in terms of kill score, and 3 turrets to the 1 now in favor of the blue team. It's remarkable how much they've managed to come back in this, and bringing that gold score up is really, really good. There hasn't been a dragon take in this game, though, which is kind of an interesting thing. Normally, you figure there would be a lot of priority on these dragons, especially with the team comps that these people are running, which have a certain late game potential to them. Great amount of damage coming out of the LeBlanc. Going to dodge that Dark Binding, and the first dragon of the game is going to be going to the blue team. Sorry, this might not be the first dragon. It looks like the dragon markers. Oh, sorry. What am I doing? Just shut up, Twigger. I was looking at the dragon markers to see if they filled up like they did in game, but I'm not noticing the giant ass number beside the dragon counter. Let's figure that out. Okay. So the first dragon of the game, as I was saying, goes to the blue team. So MapleStreet's team picking up that first dragon, very important to have, but it means that since the first dragon was taken so late, the threat of a 5-dragon team comp is, it's kind of out the window, right? It would have to be a very long game in order for that 5-dragon to happen. So, probably not going to see that unless this is a very long game. But still going to be exciting nonetheless. Wonder which team is going to be kind of preparing for a Baron. Currently, no team is really in the prep to start sieging at any point. I believe that the blue team is technically in a better position to siege because they do have that Nexus turret exposed in the top lane, so that is something that you would probably want to siege as a team. But looking at the team comps, the red team definitely has a better sieging comp, simply because you got the Nidalee, you got the Lux, and you've got the Tristana with the incredibly long range that you can hit those turrets much more frequently, and you've got the great poke from the Lux and the Nidalee, and also the binding from the Morgana that keeps the enemy team at bay. But as we can see, a lot of magic damage coming out of the Nidalee, who chose to build the Rod of Ages, and it took Janna down to nearly a quarter HP. But some damage coming out of MapleStreet, taking Nidalee down also to a quarter HP, but a great binding landing, and here comes the Lux ultimate, is going to miss. It is kind of tricky to hit, but MapleStreet is going to survive that one. And it looks like we're having a little bit of a scruff down in the bottom lane between the two wet noodles. But Trundle finally starting to build a little bit tanky. Got the Hex Drinker to deal with a little bit of the magic damage coming out of the Maokai and the Nidalee and the Lux and the Morgana. Probably about time that you build some magic resist. But also going for a little bit of armor with the Glacial Shroud. The armor and the cooldown reduction are very important on Trundle. But turret going down in favor of the red team. Second tier turret in the mid lane. Definitely an important turret to take down. And now you can kind of utilize this idea of a siege comp. Morgana getting an amazing binding. Oh my god, just completely red that LeBlanc. There was no way of that LeBlanc getting out of that one. It was just a beautiful, beautiful play by the Morgana, who should in all rights be dead right now, but managing to land a great binding, and her team followed up. But Morgana is quite low, and it looks like the 4v5 teamfight is being pushed by the blue team. Lux is also quite low on mana, so not really enough to pull out a combo here. But it looks like there's not really going to be anything going on. It looks like the Skarner trying to get in here to maybe cast an ultimate at some point. The red buff is now available for the red team. Don't know if they're going to be able to pick this one up. Tristana is still very healthy with a lot of mana and a blue buff. And it looks like the blue team, even though they are 4v5, everybody was so low on the red team that they're managing to fight this one. Dragging the Maokai in. He's using his Twisted Advance to get away from a minion, to a minion in order to escape that little attack there. But the flash being used by the Maokai, and right now 4v5, the blue team is really showing up just because everybody was so low on the red team that they could push down a turret, get a gank going, and nearly take down the Maokai. But now we have people returning to the lane, and I just want to see with this Lux, how many stacks? She's at 14 stacks, 526 AP. Her ultimate, look at that damage. It's nearly 800 damage excluding magic resistance. It's an unreal amount of damage. And one thing that I will mention, because I do play Lux quite a bit, and with this much AP, it's not just about bursting people down. Her combo does so much damage that she can do more damage than a smite. It's like Kalista with her Rend, or Gragas back in the day when he could burst it with his combo. You can steal dragons, you can steal barons, and you can get kills with that combo since you're so damn strong, and your combo can come out so quickly that you really sometimes have a better smite than the enemy team, and right now that is the case. She's going to be doing so much damage that if they try to go for the dragon that's up in a minute 30, or the baron that's currently active, there's a real chance that Lux could steal that. So you have to keep that in kind of the back of your head, that there, even if you killed the jungler, if you manage to kill Nidalee, this is not a safe time to kill a dragon or a baron. So it looks like a little bit of poke damage coming down onto the Lux, but really it didn't end up being anything. The black shield from the Morgana and the shield from the Lux enough to kind of completely counteract any damage that was coming out. And it looks like the red team is now finally available to start sieging, which I think is exactly what they need to do. They have such long range with the Tristana. A great Q onto the Skarner is going to stop his advance. But here comes the Sivir ultimate. MapleStreet wants to fight here. LeBlanc getting in, but an amazing Q once again from the Lux. Holding so many people down. The shutdown coming up before Lux could use her ultimate. That is a huge amount of damage that the red team is now missing out on. Maokai doing a great job tanking. It looks like the Trundle is finally going to go down and just not tanking enough to deal with people. The spear is going to miss. The ultimate being used onto the Skarner, going to get him low, but not enough to kill him. And it looks like everybody is decently healthy on the red team. They just got the Lux. It looks like MapleStreet getting caught by a binding, the Twisted Advance, and a lot of damage coming down. That is going to be a dead MapleStreet, and it looks like Nidalee holding down that turret aggro, going to heal herself, and they are going to get a turret and probably an inhibitor off of this. The Twisted Advance and a binding going down onto Skarner, and the damage coming down. They have so much CC, and that is going to be a dead Skarner as well. They are just picking off these people one by one. The Twisted Advance onto the Janna. Unbelievable. Getting CC'd one by one and just killing people left, right, and center. But it looks like Trundle now coming in with a teleport. I don't know what the teleport is for, but LeBlanc doing a lot of damage, killing people. It looks like the Tristana might be able to live. No, double kill for the LeBlanc. and Trundle just trying to be a distraction here. LeBlanc's passive is going to go off, and Maokai might be able to get the kill on this one. Not going to be able to get it yet. Triple kill for the LeBlanc. Is Nidalee going to try to get this one? The spear is going to miss. Trundle doing a lot of damage, but the Lux coming in just at the exact right moment to pick off the Trundle with her ultimate. Overall, though, triple kill for the LeBlanc. Definitely not a bad thing. But Lux coming in just at the right time to get that kill and bring her back up to 11 stacks onto her Majais. Not too bad. Didn't lose a lot, but still lost. So it looks like there's a little bit of a battle over the blue buff. There's so much action this game. I'm just, like, gonna lose my voice eventually. But there we go. The blue buff going over to the Skarner. Smart to use his smite to try to pick that one up safely. So just going to look at this. So there we go. This is the Cinder Hulk enchantment, which is new this patch. Like today, this came out. So while in combat, deals 29 magic damage per second to nearby enemies. This damage increases up to 44 magic damage a second based on time in combat. So standing in combat, definitely good on somebody like Skarner. But it looks like there's the LeBlanc combo. A great disengage from the Janna. I think she might be able to survive this. She will. Great Monsoon to get out of that one, and she is going to live to tell the tale. So there we go. The Blasting Smite, fairly standard, and the passive for the Juggler, fairly standard as well. So it looks like there's just a little bit of extra damage. So this is a very curious thing. MapleStreet is going to try to steal this one with his Q. Not going to manage to work. But they now don't think that they're doing Baron up here. They are currently two-manning the Baron, and they saw MapleStreet's Q come out. So they think that they're completely safe, not really checking this Baron pit, because of course they're not doing it without MapleStreet, their AD carry. And well, now they're definitely not doing it. I am going to just rewind this so I know what happened to MapleStreet. I can't believe he was out that far, but he was. He was taking the red buff. And yep, and he went the wrong way. Meet Lux and meet the rest of the team. Unfortunate for MapleStreet. I'm surprised he took that way. I would have thought that he would come towards his tower, considering that there are no turrets in the mid lane. But it looks like we're still doing the Baron up here, and the red team is completely oblivious. The Janna has now joined them. They're probably going to lose at least one turret in the bot lane, that outer turret. But the thing is, they do still have that outer turret, right? So they're not really going to lose all that much. They might lose this second tier turret, but they are going to get... No, they're going to get here in time. So they lost one turret and a dragon, which is only their first dragon of the game, for the Baron buff, which could mean a great deal for this game. If they can go up to the top lane, oh, a lot of damage going down onto the Skarner, but not going to be enough to pick him up. Going to be enough, though, to start forcing this turret down, and there's going to be the second turret in the bot lane. So it looks like even with the Baron buff, not really enough to thwart these people, because they didn't have a huge minion wave. But now they got a cannon creep and a full minion wave with the Baron buff. I think this is going to be enough to stop the enemy team's advance. Or is it? Or is it, I ask you? Tristana gonna pretty much just destroy that. Smite being used onto the cannon creep because they really want to be able to siege this turret, and I believe they currently have the advantage. LeBlanc getting in there, trying to do some damage to the Tristana. Not going to be enough to pick her off, though, and it looks like this is maybe going to be thwarted. The Sivir using her ultimate, though. MapleStreet really wanting to fight this one. Getting a lot of damage onto the Morgana. She's going to have to flash away from this one. Does still have her ultimate available. The LeBlanc ultimate is going to come down and getting the shutdown onto the... the Lux ultimate. Getting the shutdown onto the LeBlanc. Maokai doing a great job taking up the entire enemy team nearly and still staying alive. Nidalee taking a lot of damage. Hopefully going to survive that one with her heal. Tristana jumping in, going maybe a little bit too ballsy. The Monsoon coming out of the Janna, going to be able to keep her teammate alive for now. Nidalee going down. The Tristana's already down. Everybody's so low on the red team, and everybody is so healthy on the blue team, but MapleStreet and LeBlanc are both dead. The two main damage sources. The Maokai passive is going to come through and keep him alive for a little bit longer, and a great flash over top of the wall might keep him alive, but Skarner, with his solid speed, might be able to take this one down. It looks like the Lux is going to go down because of the Janna tornado, and this is going to be one dead Lux. Are they going to be able to have enough to pick up the Maokai as well? This is going to be a dead Maokai eventually, and there we go. Skarner picking up the kill. Only Morgana surviving that engagement because she used her flash so early. 25-17 is the current kill scores, 55.1 to 51.2. 7 turrets to the 4 turrets in favor of the red team. Great fight for the blue team, but is it too late? Skarner trying to get in here to take the blue buff. He does manage to take it. Nice little invade from the Skarner, using the advantage with everybody dead. But now there's no real objectives on the map. You do still have the Baron buff on a couple people on the blue team. You might want to try to use that for your advantage to maybe force a team fight or maybe go and siege that top lane inhibitor turret. But it looks like everybody's just trying to kind of buy some items and try to group up for the next fight. It's currently been a very back and forth match. When I thought that it was nearly impossible for the blue team to come back, they do manage to come back, and then they lose a fight, they get a Baron, they lose a Dragon. It's been very back and forth, but MapleStreet dying a little bit more than he needs to, I think. I think he's playing, and I feel like even when he was on Velocity Gaming, he was just sometimes a little bit too ballsy, you know? It's just one of those things that you do. Oh my god, the damage! The Sivir ultimate having to be popped, but the Skarner using his ultimate to grab the Nidalee, getting a counter engage onto their jungle. The Skarner is still alive. Tristana going down to the LeBlanc, but the Tristana returning the kill onto the LeBlanc herself. Looks like Maokai going to go down. The Skarner is still alive, really helping out with his team. The Zhonya is being used by the Morgana, and it looks like the Janna Monsoon coming out to heal up her team. Only the LeBlanc is dead on the blue team, and there are 4 members of the red team down. They thought they got the catch onto the Skarner, but little did they know the counter engage from the Skarner ultimate had so much potential, and they ended up taking down the red team. This is going to be a second tier turret for the blue team, and could very well be more than that. They have 12 seconds until the first carry comes up, and it could very well be an inhibitor for the blue team because they still have MapleStreet available, and they are going to get an inhibitor, trading inhibitors. And now it's so important because the blue team's inhibitor is still alive. It just respawned, and now it's all of a sudden everything's been turned onto its head. There's only a 1,000 gold lead for the red team. And all of a sudden, now with the inhibitors down for the red team, Baron is going to be spawning in very, very shortly, in probably about a minute and 30 seconds. Dragon's coming up in 45 seconds. It's going to be so close when you come into this next team fight. But I do feel like it's been a while since I've walked through the CS. 194 for the Trundle in favor of him in comparison to the 175 of the Maokai. 161 to 132 in favor of the Nidalee. Both jugglers doing incredibly well this game. Both playing their roles incredibly well, and kind of a joy to see a Skarner who's doing really well. Might very well have to do with that Cinder Helm enchantment. We're definitely going to have to take that out for a little bit of a gander in a little while. But Janna once again trying to get away from a little bit of a gank, probably with the same people it seems. But the ultimate from the Skarner coming down. Don't have time to talk about CS when it looks like the Morgana might be going down. The Zhonya is being used. Going to be enough to lock everybody down, but will they have enough to make this one off? There we go. The Lux going down to the LeBlanc, and the Morgana going down to MapleStreet Sivir. And once again, we have an advantage for the blue team. Lux and Morgana going down, 2 major sources of CC and damage. And it looks like they're going to try to push up this mid lane. The Dragon is live right now, but it looks like they don't want that. Their wave clear is gone with the Lux being dead. Tristana has a decent amount of wave clear, but currently the Tristana is just going to have to farm from behind. And they do have super minions. The Maokai taking a lot of damage here is going to tank up the team for a long period of time. They're trying to take down the turret and Maokai at the same time, which is pretty much like 2 turrets right now. They do finally manage to take down the Maokai and the turret. I don't know if they really want to push this one. They got a kill. They got a turret. I think I would just be right now. Go and try to take a free dragon and get the second one of the game. Oh, sorry, third one of the game, second one for you as a team. The Skarner ultimate is right now available, so I think that's what he's looking for. But Janna going to take a lot of damage, but an amazing tornado. And it looks like the LeBlanc is going to have something to say about chasing her Janna, and that is going to be a great bait from the Janna and a great kill from the LeBlanc. The Dark Binding missing onto the Skarner. He is very, very low right now, but it looks like they're just getting picks off where they need them. And they do have that sort of pick composition with the LeBlanc and the Skarner. And it's really working out well for them, but looks like they are finally disengaging from the whole skirmishing fight that was going on, and they are going to pick off that dragon, but looks like they finally do have the gold lead in this game. 62.5 to 61.4. Finally, MapleStreet and the blue team is coming up ahead. For the longest time they were behind, but it's one of those things, guys, that no matter how far behind it might seem, you can always come back, and that's what I always try to kind of bring to my games, is that no matter how bad it looks, I've seen way, way bigger comebacks. And I for those of you who know this game, if you remember Moscow 5, when they came back from a 10k gold sorry, it was CLG. There we go. It was CLG EU against Moscow 5, which is now Gambit Gaming. But it was like a 15k gold deficit or something along those lines, something ridiculous that you should never be able to come back from. And one solid team fight really late in the game, they ended up cleaning up the enemy team and they pushed for the win. You can always win games, guys. It's always about just the mental attitude that you bring to it. And right now, the blue team is showing some mental fortitude, making some great plays, getting some great picks. And when the red team makes a mistake, the blue team is right there to take advantage of it. And it looks like Skarner gonna use his ultimate on the Maokai. I really don't agree with this. You should try to use that ultimate on somebody else because it's such a great ultimate and its flash is almost available. But Morgana taking so much damage, not even using her ultimate quite yet, does finally use her ultimate, but it's only on one person, the Skarner right now, who is gonna get shut down by the Tristana. Tristana doing a lot of damage to the Trundle as well. I don't know if that bomb is gonna be enough to kill the Trundle. It will be double kill for the Tristana. 2-0 in favor of the red team. And I don't know what the Skarner was thinking there. His flash is now available. He had like 5 seconds left on that flash. I don't know why you would use your ultimate. Oh boy, but there is going to be one dead Morgana. So there we go, 2 for 1 in that fight. But I don't know why you would use your ult. Oh god, is this bomb going to be enough? No. Oh! What a Lux ultimate, picking off the LeBlanc. And it looks like Janna's going to go down as well. So as I was saying, with the blue team taking advantage of mistakes from the red team is doing the exact same thing. You made a mistake by ulting the Maokai, and you didn't kill him. I don't know why you would use that. He could have flashed in and grabbed the Tristana, or grabbed the Lux, or grabbed the Nidalee, which has been working so well up until this point. And he chose not to do that. He grabbed the Maokai, and the red team used that to their advantage. They didn't kill the Maokai, and the red team's damage line could just destroy the blue team, and then they just got pick after pick after pick. So there we go. Lux using her ultimate to, it looks like, clear some minions in the top lane so it doesn't start pushing against them. But Skarner trying to get in here, trying to do something, but don't really think you're going to be able to catch a Nidalee. Skarner does now have that change though, that if he lands another couple spells, there you go, there's the stun. Skarner trying to do quite a bit of damage, but he's now really overextended. Maokai is now here to help the Nidalee out. Twisted Advance going down should make for an easy spear for the for the Nidalee. And now you got 4 people. Looks like the flash being used now. And see, this is exactly what I don't like to see. You just used your flash in a completely useless situation, but you didn't use your flash to possibly win you the game, because if you flash and grab the Nidalee or the Tristana in that last team fight, I feel like this probably would have been game over, but he chose to try to flash away from that little engagement there while the Tristana bomb was on him, tried to get away from that one, and just was not enough. So, looks like 39 minutes in the game. Quite a long game, 70k to 67.2k in favor of the red team. The gold lead just went right back in favor of the red team. And the Baron buff now on the red team as well is going to mean for some very, very easy sieging for this Tristana. It is now late game Tristana, 11-5-12, so killing things from a long, long distance is going to be very easy for her. And as you guys can see, so it looks like oh my god, I cannot stress how great this Morgana has been playing. The bindings on LeBlanc are so tough to land because she's so mobile, but Morgana has read her on several occasions now, and it's just made it so easy for the team to clean up. She doesn't have a Zhonya's, LeBlanc I'm speaking of, and it's just so easy to take her down because she's so squishy. But looks like this might be the very last push of the game, because we currently do have a lot of minions. And once again, the Skarner using the ultimate onto the Maokai, which ended up working on that fight, but still, not the best target to be using that on. Not entirely sure why that happens, because now great, you killed the tank line, but you have the full damage line now killing your Nexus. Tristana just going to flash away, try to get her ultimate off to get some people away, and that is going to be enough to pick off the Nexus, and that is going to be GG. An unbelievable game with Maple Street. It was so back and forth, a lot of great plays, a lot of interesting picks this game, and of course, love seeing my Lux at High ELO. But hopefully you guys did enjoy that High ELO commentary. Let me know if you did in the comment section below. I'm very happy to be doing these things again. I love commentating. Let me know what you guys think and what I can improve on. Press that like button if you did enjoy this video. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see more High ELO commentaries and other video game gameplay, League of Legends gameplays. And I will see you guys, as always, in the next video.